Snapping allows you to align moving objects to other objects already on the page, to page guides, or to grids, and also to page spreads. So in this example, I can just show you that initially these two objects do not snap against each other. But when I enable snapping here, I can get snapping functionality, and you can see that just snapping along this line here, which is kind of like vertical snapping, if you like, and that's shown by the green line. Now you can also snap to horizontal, as shown by the red line, and you can snap to both at the same time for absolute precision. So just to show you how this works, if you go to snapping via this document menu, just tap snapping there. You've already seen that we can enable snapping, but this is a kind of like a global on-off control here, enable snapping. You've got different presets here, so if I tap in there, and you can choose the snapping behavior and according to the type of work that you do. For instance, if you're interested in page layout, you can choose one of these options. If you're interested in object creation, curve drawing, UI design, or pixel work, they'll all change these settings from that preset. Now, one important aspect is this candidates list here. If I just tap on there, this drop-down menu offers candidate list and immediate layers. I'll just describe those briefly. So candidate list means that objects that will be snapped to have to be selected in advance and to become a candidate for snapping. So this is done either by selection, via marquee selection, or via individual selection or hover over of those objects. Immediate layer is self-explanatory, and that just means that any other objects on the current layer, the object that you're moving, will be a candidate for snapping to. Just very briefly, some of the other options, you can force pixel alignment and move by whole pixels, which means that you, especially if you're using a pixel grid, you can get pixel accurate alignment and by whole pixels too. A couple of other options here. We've got snap to grid and snap to guides, and I just want to show you those. So if I click done, because they're already enabled, I can then switch on grid, show the grid, and we should be able to just select this object here, and then we have snap to grid behavior. You can see that snapping into that grid there quite nicely. If I just switch off that grid, go back to grids, switch off, and instead we'll switch guides on, I can add a horizontal guide and then add a vertical guide. Say I wanted to reposition it there, select the object, and then we've got snapping to guide, both horizontally and vertically.